What's up, everybody? This is Jeff from the Omni Reel, where we talk about everything from comic books to collected editions, graphic novels, and films and cinema. Particular Blu-rays, Criterions, Steelbooks, all of that. Physical media, big physical media collector from comic books to movies, all of that. And today, I have a package from Amazon. This right here is something that I've been waiting for a really long time. This is my first time seeing this book in particular, like in person. So I am like beyond excited to open this up and really see what this is all about. So let's get this open.
This is crazy. This is beautiful. Oh my gosh. This is Absolute Justice by Alex Ross and Paul Dini. Alex Ross obviously being the artist, Paul Dini the writer. Those who don't know, Alex Ross is one of the greatest artists in all of comics. He's not your traditional artist. He is a painter. If you can see this image, these images actually, he paints all of his characters, and his artwork needs to be collected in books of this format, which are oversized. The traditional graphic novel is around comic book size, and then you have your omnibuses and deluxes. And then you have your absolute editions, which are even taller than that. This is an absolute, so it is the format in terms of height of what your traditional absolutes are. But this came out in a magazine format, and a magazine format is a little longer than your traditional comic book. So this will be a little bit longer than your traditional absolute. We can take the dust jacket off now, see what is underneath. Okay. Looks like it is a more of a close-up version, a little different of what is on the slipcover. Now, what this story is Paul Dini. Paul Dini is the writer of the Batman animated series, so we know that he knows these characters. He's good with DC characters. He knows how to write these characters. Alex Ross, obviously, on the artwork. And what this is essentially an anthology of different stories of characters, starting with Superman. And these are not action-packed stories. I know that. I know a lot of people who read comics really look for, big battles and, cosmic adventures, but this is not that. These are very human stories that tell very philosophical stories about these characters, and really kind of get to the heart and the essence of what makes each of these characters special. And this is very Paul Dini. If you ever watched Batman animated series, that really kind of tackles the character at his core of what makes him special, and the human elements of these larger than life icons. Essentially, this is what this is all about. And it's not your traditional comic also, where you won't see a lot of speech bubbles. It's more of it's written in a novelistic way with pictures. You do hear the characters' thoughts and all that, but you see right here, it's just more description based, just with stunning artwork. I mean, look at that. And this book contains a lot of the Alex Ross artwork that you may see online or in posters somewhere. You might wonder, where's that from? Most of them are from here. And then here we got the iconic Batman storyline, War on Crime. I have not read this. I've read a lot of Batman. I am the biggest Batman fan. He's my favorite character by far in all of fiction. Yeah. The way Alex Ross, man, this is just crazy. It just feels real. This is just beautiful. I'm so glad to finally have an Alex Ross absolute in my possession. This is beautiful. Oh my gosh, this is probably my favorite book that I own already, and I just got this. Yeah, this is great stuff. And we have the next short story, which here is Shazam! Power of Hope. I don't know anything about this story. I'll skim through this a little more quickly because I have not read this yet, so I don't really want to look at every single page. gosh, this is so freaking sick, man. Alex Ross is one of the GOATs, if not the GOAT. Follows me on Instagram, by the way. Fun fact, I'm very proud of that. The next story after Shazam, we have Wonder Woman Spirit of Truth. Again, this is not a story. I'm really excited to read this because I don't really know anything about these stories other than Batman War on Crime. I vaguely know what that's about. But, you know, I read comics and graphic novels every single day. And this is something that has been out for a while. Man, when was this? Early 2000s, late 90s that this was released? And I only heard about it like a few months ago. I was like, oh, Alex Ross, Paul Dini. Not only that, but absolute format. This is something that I absolutely have to get into. No pun intended. The way Alex Ross does reflections and lightings and the wrinkles on the capes is just unbelievable. Nobody else is like that other than maybe Lee Mirho. Oh, it looks like you have these mini stories, maybe. Oh no, what is this? Did I pass it? Okay. And the next story looks like is Justice League of America's Secret Origins, and this is obviously stories that encompass all of the Justice League together. And then here's just the Justice League of America as a whole. Liberty and Justice, and I guess this is another storyline that encompasses all of the Justice League together. This artwork is crazy. Look at that. Look at that. That is just... it's mind-blowing. I can't believe I finally own this. And here's a first look at some speech bubbles. So I guess here it's going to start feeling like a more traditional comic book. Oh. I mean, you get a vague idea of what this looks like through the video, but you guys have no idea what it's like to hold this and feel this and see what it is like up close. And obviously, you know, and just like any good book, good graphic novel, there's, you know, good amount of extras. You got an afterword here by Paul Dini. Looks like you have some storyboards, some early artworks. And looks like descriptions about the book and the process. I love seeing how Alex Ross does his art. He usually has people in costumes and then he builds the art off of that. I think that's really cool to see the process. This was worth any penny. So I got this for $70. Usually absolutes, $70 on Amazon. Absolutes go for anywhere, retail price $100 to $150. I was so, or if you go to your comic book store, usually they'll never be under $100. To get this for $70 was just such a steal. I had to hop on the opportunity when I saw it as that price. Oh, look at this. Look at this. Would you look at that? Damn, we got a pullout. I don't know if the camera's gonna show all of it. I hope that it does. That's pretty crazy. Let's see if there's one on the other side. There is. This is quite the package, man. This is something else. Very lucky to have this. Now, as a word, this will go on my shelf. As you can see, I have absolutes on the top shelf because they fit absolutes here. Here I have your standard size editions. And then here I have the omnibuses, which are oversized editions. Now, this is my absolute shelf and this fits absolutes. However, like I said, this is magazine format. So it sticks out just a tad bit. I don't really like that. So I am going to store it up here. And there are two other absolute Alex Ross books, which are Absolute Justice and Absolute Kingdom Come, and I think I'll place those right there. So this is my shelf so far. It is not as much as what most people have, most YouTubers, people on TikTok and their collections, but I'm just starting up. So that's that. This is definitely my favorite book that I own right now.
But that's it for this video. Come back for more. Again, this is not just for collected editions, comic books, graphic novels, all that. I also am, as much as I am a comic guy, I am also a movie guy, and I will also be cracking open a bunch of DVDs, Criterions, steel books, collections in physical media. I have a film shelf, which is right over here as well, right next to my comic shelf, and just everything physical media from books to film. So that's that. Thanks for watching. Hopefully catch you guys next time.